Have you noticed something, said Bertie.
Other than the countless requests I have been getting to review Foo Fight? P.S. A shameful plug for my review series family movie collaboration if you want to go check it out. Seriously, it's awesome.
The Fat Controller, he seems different, replied Bertie.
Different? You mean like weirdo land different?
I was thinking different as in special different. We all got those.
You do have a point, Ben.
I did see him staring at the clouds this morning, said Percy. I wonder why.
I don't know, Percy, but it definitely can't be about that guy I ran into yesterday. In fact, I wonder where he is right now. This Blue Train is his favorite show. He plays with engine toys, you know. He still has not grown out of it, but we don't care about that one bit. He watches all the episodes. He likes all characters railroad. He checks his list off every day of merchandise he buys away. Zach, he's a Thomas maniac. Zach, he's a Thomas maniac. But enough of that. I wonder why the Fat Controller is acting so weird.
I don't know.
The reason was simple. It was Lady Hat's birthday and Sir Topham had a new outfit. It's perfect for my birthday party, said his wife. You'll look splendid, Topham dear. And I'll wear my finest hat just for you, he replied. Your birthday is a great occasion. It is, so don't be late. Don't worry, my dear. I shall be spick and span and right on time. Later that day, the Fat Controller had changed into his new suit.
Oh my, you do look fine, sir.
Yes, Sam, very fine too.
We better get going, guys, or we'll be late.
Indeed, agreed the Fat Controller.
So is that reliable?
Certainly, said the Fat Controller.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Calm down, Kylan. He said it's reliable.
But it wasn't. But it was too late.
Go!
Bother. Now I've got a puncture.
I said it's a bad idea to change your wheels, sir. You'll be sure to dirty your seat and that will never do.
So now what do we do?
I don't know!
Just then,
Oh, Caroline, what things you have been going by?
I have to attend my wife's birthday party and I cannot be late.
And we're making sure he's spick and span by the time he gets there.
Can you give us a lift, Caroline?
But Caroline didn't like going fast. I'm hot. My engine will overheat. And it did.
Oh, God!
Told you so, said Caroline sadly. Bother.
I swear, if SamTheThomasFan1 doesn't get here, I'm going to throw a hissy fit!
Yeah, don't do that, Samuel.
Well, I can't help it. We keep freaking stopping.
Looks like you're stopping for Marvin.
Yes, I am. Now give us some transportation, please.
It was George the Steamroller.
Oh no, not this guy.
George was cross when he saw Caroline. Call yourself a car, you're a disgrace to the road. Find yourself a scrapyard. Caroline spluttered in fury.
Boy, George can get a diesel. Yeah, Sam, Ben, George, Johnny, David, and the engines and so free. A run for his money.
Ditto.
George's driver was more polite. Can I be of assistance, sir? Only if you can get me to my wife's birthday party, sighed the Fat Controller.
Just down the line?
Well, it'd be about time they starred in this episode.
Yeah, seeing how the names are in the title of this show.
Much obliged. And they rumbled away. What about me? Wailed Caroline.
Don't worry, we'll send help. Caroline, stay there.
That's all I can do. George was enjoying rolling along the lane.
It's been the favorite.
Forget your paintwork, Teresa. The Fat Controller is dirty.
Oh man, we failed to keep the Fat Controller clean.
Don't worry. We'll find a way to clean him up when we get there. At least things can't get worse.
Help! Cried George. Something snapped.
Of course.
Guys?
Whoa! When did you become literal sticks in the mud?
Bother, bother. Thomas had never seen the Fat Controller in such a mess.
Can we help you guys?
No, just let us rot in the mud. Of course, help us, you morons!
This has been a long, terrible trip.
We can see that. But anyways, need help?
Yes, please.
Oh, we would love to do that, sir, but unfortunately our fireman has been taken ill.
Then I'll be your fireman, sighed the Fat Controller.
Wow. Driving in a steamroller. Now this... bonus!
Thomas was excited. The Fat Controller had to work hard. Coal dust and smut flew everywhere.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time one of us breathed in something hazardous. In fact, what did Peggy Olson say in Mad Men?
I am so high.
Yeah, I don't wish I was.
And at last, they reached the station. The Fat Controller looked at the clock. Just in time, he gasped. He hurriedly picked up a huge bunch of flowers. Good luck, called Thomas.
There goes one perfectly good husband. So, anyone want a donut?
Me!
Alright then, let's go.
Should we feel guilty about leaving the Fat Controller dirty?
Nah, you know what they say. A little adulthood drama builds up character.
The Fat Controller's wife was waiting for him. As the clock struck 3, there stood Sir Topham Hatt. Tired but triumphant, he gave his wife the flowers. Well, thank you, my dear. I knew this was a special birthday party, but I didn't know it was fancy dress. Everyone laughed. And then the party began. In summer, the island of Sodor gleams in the sun and every station is filled with flowers.
Phew, what a day.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can handle the smell of fish any longer.
Yeah, alright Percy, it's time for us to go home.
Can I have a wash down first?
Oh, we would love to give you one, Percy, but there isn't time. The Fat Controller is waiting for us at the sheds.
I wonder what he wants anyway.
Who knows?
There is to be a festival of flowers, announced the Fat Controller. This sign saying Best Rest Station will be awarded to the winner. Please help with the arrangements.
A festival of flowers with the winning station be awarded at Best Dressed Station? How exciting is that?
I know, right? But whose station is everyone preparing for the festival?
My favourite station is Farquhar, said Thomas. Mine's Maithwaite, said Toby. Percy, what's yours? Percy was too tired to think properly. The docks, he murmured. Huh, sniffed Thomas. We can tell.
Yeah, we didn't have the time to get Percy a washdown tonight because it was getting late.
Yeah, and Percy, you do know that the docks are full of fish, not flowers.
All right then, Alsdale End, said Percy. That's my home, replied Toby. That's why I like it, especially when you're there and not here saying I'm silly.
Percy, doesn't that technically mean you might be in concentration for the fact of being rather jealous?
Good night.
Don't worry about Percy, Sam. He's just a little bit tired from all of that hard work. Almost a lot of us sort of do that all the time.
I know that, Ben, but it doesn't excuse for the fact that maybe you couldn't be a little bit jealous. You know, like Gordon did back at episode 31.
Yeah, come on, Sam. We better get some shut-eye for the night. We've got a lot of work to do tomorrow morning.
Maybe you're right, Ben. Hopefully tomorrow will be the day we get everything prepped up for the Festival of Flowers.
Next morning, Percy was proud to be sparkling again. His train of trucks were being loaded with vegetables and flowers.
Wow, those trucks full of vegetables and flowers look beautiful.
Yep, they sure do. I wonder what they are for.
These are for Maithwaite. They'll display them on the platform.
Hey John, long time no see. What are you doing here?
I'm here to help with the preparations for the Festival of Flowers. And upon hearing the news that you two are going to help out as well, I thought it makes sense if I tag along with you to help out with the preparations.
Sweet! I guess it makes sense if we have someone else to help out with the preparations for the Festival of Flowers, but still, with you around, John, we will get things done as quickly as possible.
You know, it's almost as cosmical since you and John got hate on YouTube back in the summer of 2012.
Hey, I thought we agreed to never mention that ever again, Sam!
Sorry.
On the way... Why is Harold buzzing about? He puffed. I haven't time for a race today.
Oh, don't worry, Percy. He's not. He's just on the lookout for anything on the line.
Isn't that what he does anyway?
Oh, yes.
He might be right. I sure hope nothing can get in front of the line.
Oh, you mean like this ramp that is right in front of us?
Yes, John, that's exactly what I'm referring to in the third place. Oh my gosh! A ram on the line!
Wait, how did that ram get onto the line in the first place?
Yeah, it's blocking our path, and it can't get out of the way.
Now we'll be late. I should have known that Harold was trying to tell us something.
Well, looks like we might need to figure out some way to get the ram off the track. Anyone got any ideas?
Well, I can get the ram my DVD copy of the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie.
Wait, you like Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie?
Yeah, but still, don't get me wrong. It's stupid and ridiculous, a lot like every other Michael Bay movie.
With the exception of the Transformers movies?
True, but I think it's still fun to watch.
Okay, that won't work. Anyone else got any ideas? Other than throwing out another DVD copy of a Michael Bay movie?
I got just something to get that ram off the track.
What might that be?
We'll give the ram some FOOD. Finding overhauls over dogs. Nah, I'm just kidding. We'll give the ram one of the vegetables that is loaded onto our trucks.
Good idea, John.
The ram chomped happily away.
Phew! Glad that problem is solved.
Please, can we go now?
Oh yeah, we almost forgot. We gotta get these trucks delivered to Maithwaite. Let's go!
Sorry we're late. We were just about to arrive with the flowers and vegetables.
But a ram blocked our path.
But we managed to get it to move out of the way. Do you know anything about it?
He's always hungry.
Well, do you suppose you can keep a close eye on him to make sure nothing bad happens around here?
A little while later, the station was decked with flowers.
Wow, the station looks fantastic.
Just like the way we've set it up.
Maithwaite will definitely win first prize, decided Percy.
Oh, you bet it will, Percy. With all the hard work being put into this, what could possibly go wrong?
Time for a snooze, he thought.
Alright, though in the meantime, I'm gonna catch up on the latest episode of the Japanese version of Pokemon X, Y, and Z.
I'll be playing Super Smash Bros. On my 3DS.
And I might as well try to beat my paddle ball record. Oh, dang! This is hard.
Tell me about it, John. I remember that I tried out paddle ball when I was a little kid, but it didn't work out pretty well.
Really?
Oh yeah, true story.
And this is coming from someone who has been to over 5 conventions for the past 2 years.
True, and for the fact that I got to meet the angry video game nerd at 2 of them. Again, true story, but for now, we might as well enjoy our peace and quiet time.
But it wasn't.
Sam, Ben, Percy, what was that?
Well, we better see what all that noise is all about.
Flowers, fruit, and vegetables were scattered everywhere.
Oh my gosh! The station is in a fruit and vegetable muddle with the flowers! What could have caused it?
It's the ram from earlier, John. He's made a meal of the entire station.
Yes, but I feel the ram might have caused a little bit of confusion and delay and might be on the verge of canceling the Festival of Flowers.
You think so, Ben?
I believe so, John. If that ram continues to act like this, there will be no more vegetables and flowers left on this earth. We must stop this madness before it continues to spiral out of control.
How will we be able to do that?
Well, Sam, we must go fight the source of all of this.
But what is the source, Ben?
Oh, that's easy. Times have changed. Things are getting worse. All animals being mistreated makes us want to fart and curse. Should we blame the government or blame society? Or should we blame the images on TV? No! Blame Piga! Blame Piga! With all their bleeding little eyes have packed their heads up full of lies. Blame Piga! Blame Piga! We need to form a full assault. It's Piga's fault! Don't blame yourself for your pet dog. He never saw it coming when he was hit by that log. And your pet cat once scratched bit after bit.
But what about when Blackface is a big gigantic hit?
Well, blame Piga, blame Piga. It seems that everything's gone wrong since Piga came along. Blame Piga, blame Piga. They're not even a real company anyway. Your pet fish could have been a lawyer rich and true. Instead he burned up like a piggy on a barbecue.
Should we blame the matches?
Should we blame the fire?
Or the Doctor Who allowing him to expire?
Heck no! Blame Piga! Blame Piga! With all their captive hullabaloo and their video games too. Blame Piga! Shame on Piga for the stuff we were self, the trash we were the laughter and muck must all be done. We must blame them the cause of us before somebody thinks of blaming us. Piga sucks!
Ben, you do know that the song you just sang has really nothing to do with anything, right?
Oh yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, might as well save that conversation for later, Ben, because I see a lot of passengers packed in front of the door.
Well, looks like I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Very well then. Also, before you go out there, do you have any regrets?
My own adventures of Phineas and Ferb, maybe?
Makes sense.
Right. Wish me luck. Okay, guys, what seems to be the trouble?
We can't get into the waiting room, the passengers cried.
And why not, might I assume?
The ram won't let us. Everyone looked at the ram, and the ram looked at them.
Now, how did the ram get into the waiting room through that door?
Well, what did you find out about, Ben?
I think I figured out how the ram was in the waiting room.
And what might that be?
Well, let's face it, since the ram has eaten up everything at the station that has been decorated and figure out how to open a door all by itself despite turning the doorknob with its mouth, I think, that can only lead to one simple conclusion.
Yes? Yes?
Oh my goodness! The suspense is killing me!
The ram is part raptor!
Wait, what?
How can you tell, Ben?
Well, as you can see, John, not only can it be a fast eater around the time it ate all of the decorations, but it can also figure out how to open a door by itself. So technically, since it can sense like a raptor, act like a raptor, sound like a raptor, and move like a raptor, this means that the ram is part raptor.
Ben, that is one of the most ridiculous and yet most stupidest thing I have ever heard.
Yeah, you're right, Sam. But still, at least it's simple as one person is too stupid enough to know that this series is created by you and not me, Sam. What's his name again? Oh yeah, Z Jason Tumblr. Yeah, you explain that one. But, just to make sure I might be right, we might as well go together.
Right.
But first, Sam, do you have any regrets?
Well, only one, and that's Thomas's adventures if I'm in the band.
Okay, what about you, John? Do you have any regrets?
Hector the Horrid from my series of Tommy and Trackmaster TNF?
Really? You didn't like your version of Hector the Horrid in your series?
Yeah. I said so in my third Q&A response video. True story.
Guys, I think I found something.
What is it?
I don't think the ram is alone.
What do you mean, Sam?
There are 3 boys in there with the ram.
What? Oh, looks like Sam is right, John, but what are they doing in there?
Let us out, please, begged the boys. We're very sorry.
Well, what do you know? The boys are the ones causing the trouble, not the ram. The ram was just making sure that they wouldn't do any more damage.
We thought it would be fun, but it wasn't. We'll help put everything back.
Well, it looks like you're better, because the Festival of Flowers is about to get underway in less than 48 hours.
A few days later, the Fat Controller invited some of the engines to Maithwaite, winner of the Best Dressed Station Award. I'm sorry, Toby, whispered Percy.
Indeed we have, Toby. Indeed we have.
Then the Fat Controller made an announcement. There is one more prize for our good friend the Ram. Here it is. I'll eat my hat if you don't like it.
Why would the ram need a giant pumpkin?
Well, you know, Sam, for something like that, I think it's best not to ask questions like that one.
I ask questions a whole lot.
Then Harold landed. The wind from his blades blew the Fat Controller's hat off.
Oh my goodness, sir! The ram ate your hat!
Said the Fat Controller. Shamed I wouldn't be able to eat my hat even if I had to.
Oh, now it makes sense. But still, that joke is making SNL more subtle. Sorry, SNL, I didn't mean to say anything crude about that. You're an awesome show. In which, by the way, I gotta think about watching Rick and Morty. I do hear it's pretty good.
Everyone laughed, and the only sound from the ram was a contented hiccup. Percy was working in the coal mines.
Believe me, Percy, I am bored by this as much as you are. But unfortunately, the Fat Controller told me that we must be here again tomorrow. We've just got to make the best out of a bad situation.
Sighed Percy.
Percy, green and small, he's no use to us at all. Around the yard he'll puff and blow, but on the hills he's oh so slow.
Be quiet! How rude.
Yeah, you both look so unhappy.
Unhappy? Why would we be unhappy? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because...
Nothing exciting ever happens, that's the matter, sighed Percy.
Thank you, Percy. You two have no idea of the garbage we have to go through.
It's just coal.
And trucks. We're bored.
Oh my!
Excitement is surprising, observed Bertie.
Yeah, you experienced it before, Sam. Remember when you saw the movie Junior? In all my years, Ben, I've never seen anything like it. 20 straight hours of marathon projectile vomiting.
Jeez. So what do you recommend, David?
Well, certainly no more watching of Junior. That much is certain.
Well, he does need to finish the movie.
Well, then certainly no more watching of that scene. By the way, did you turn the TV off?
No, I thought you did.
Your turn to clean it up.
Yeah.
That baby still gives me the creeps.
But Bertie's right, guys. Excitement is surprising.
You never know when it'll happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't be exciting. Toodle peep.
Bye, guys. And remember what we said about excitement being surprising.
It would be surprising if something surprising happened, muttered Percy.
Dino.
How are things going for you two?
Boring!
Well, why not have a few fast spins on the turntable? You like that, said Toby.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Why don't you try that?
I think I just feel giddy.
Yeah, me too. And boy, just thinking about those coal mines make me want to just say, boring. Boring. Boring.
Sam?
Boring. Boring. Boring.
Are you alright?
Boring. Boring. Boring.
Oh
Boring.
dear, I think Sam's having a dream
Boring.
sequence.
Boring. Boring. I'm so bored. So very, very bored. I'd rather watch a bunch of cupcakes, sing a merry something, or something on a door. It's so dull. There is nothing to say. I'd rather shake a coat of leprechaun, beat up to a double knuckle, play some croquet. Where did the excitement go? How can this be? Did vampires suck out all the fun? Maybe it could have worked if we had used Mr. T.
Boring.
It's just not that interesting.
Boring.
Where did it go wrong?
Boring.
I'm not doing the episodes now. I'm just singing this pointless song.
You're not missing that much. Nothing happens. They act really troublesome and they just fool around without any jokes put in. Boring, 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 boring.
Order! I say! Sam Tyndall, for not having much leading episodes, I sentence you to more work in the coal mines with Percy!
But it's just so boring! And besides, watching the Dream Sequence is much more interesting than working in those coal mines!
No, Sam, no. For if you do not work in these coal mines, you will have to watch this! Fool! Sam, wake up!
I'm so sorry, guys. I guess I actually prefer watching my dreams as opposed to working in those boring coal mines.
It's okay, Sam. At least it gave the audience a chance to catch their breath. You good? Great! Back to the story!
You'll soon know more about trucks than any other engine. That'll be exciting, called Toby.
Alright, play the thing. Yeah, what did we miss?
The trucks were still grumbling, and there was more of them than ever. You're much too small to pull all of us. We want another engine or we'll be struggling up the hill all night.
3, 2, 1.
All night, all right, you can puff and blow. But on that hill, you're still too slow. Slow yourself, stuttered Percy.
You tell those jerks, Percy.
Temper,
giggled the trucks.
Go to it, Percy. We're nearly at the top.
The trucks were still joking. Too slow, more power, here all night, tomorrow too.
Be quiet!
Then there was trouble.
Oh no! I was so busy being bored I forgot to check if the front coupling was loosened enough.
A coupling broke.
Surprise, surprise! Catch us if you can!
Oh no!
Whoa! Is that a long train of trucks? Sam? Percy?
And the yard foreman told the Fat Controller what was happening. They're heading for the big hill. It'll slow them down, but they may roll back again, right into the village, said the foreman. Then we'll just have to stop them, won't we? Said Sir Topham Hatt firmly.
David, do you think you and Bertie could try and help us stop our trucks?
Of course we can, Sam. That's what friends are for.
Thanks, guys. You're the best.
Come on, Bertie. There's no time to lose.
The chase was on. As they approached the hill, they overtook the trucks.
boy, for troublesome trucks, they do move really slowly.
The hill slowed the trucks right down to a standstill. Then the men quickly put wooden blocks behind their wheels so they couldn't roll backwards. The trucks were now secured.
Phew, that was close.
Thanks for you and Bertie's help, David.
No problem, Sam.
Well, what did you think of that? Joked Bertie. A good chase is always exciting.
Hey, you're right, Bertie. That chase was exciting. And surprising. None of us saw it coming.
It certainly was a surprise, decided Percy.
What do we tell you? Excitement is surprising.
A really useful engine should never be surprised by surprise.
Glad to see you two learned a lesson.
Yeah, me too. And thank goodness I never have to look at that movie ever again. Mama!
Toad the brake van was feeling sad. Everywhere he looked, he could see engines and coaches moving steadily forwards. They all looked confident and cheerful. I have forward-thinking views. I could be a leader, if you know what I mean.
Oh, kind of like how Ben is the leader of all of us?
Yeah, but the only difference is that I am a regular human being, not a brake van, and I lead by being in charge of my friends, not pulling a train.
You can't be a leader without a train to follow you. You don't have a train, Gordon said. Toad felt sadder still. You're a very useful brake van, Toad. You help me brake and you keep my trucks in order when we go down hills.
And nobody, Toad, blaming nobody can do that like you.
Yeah, you're one of a kind.
But it would be so exciting to go forwards for a change instead of always seeing things sliding away from me.
You know in the previous episodes when David and Bertie told Percy and I that excitement is surprising?
Yeah?
I think Toad, Evan, and Motion are gonna feel that experience.
Wow! How much are they gonna keep hammering this message in?
The trucks were cross with Toad. Who's he to start complaining? He's lucky to be able to look after us. Let's teach him a lesson.
Oh, Motion, do you think it's a really good idea for us to ride in Toad?
He needs some support and comfort even. Besides, what could possibly go wrong?
The trucks decided to carry out their plan when they reached Gordon's Hill.
Well, Sam, I'm gonna read the latest Miyazaki magazine.
Okay, and I'll continue to play Super Smash Bros. On my 3DS.
When they were nearly at the top, they played their tricks. Ready, steady, go, said the trucks, and they jerked at a coupling which broke.
Did you hear something?
Nah.
We're making your wish come true, Toad.
Wow!
Follow the leader, yelled the trucks.
Hold me.
Toad was still in a state of shock, so didn't know what to think, and he couldn't ask the guard. He had jumped clear.
Okay, we're in a runaway brake van attached to some trucks. I have had weird days.
Oh my, we're still going.
Wait, we lost Evan, Masha, and Toad and our trucks? How did we miss that?
Darn you, technology!
We better go after them. Onward, Oliver!
Faster, faster, as fast as you want, screamed the trucks.
not helping trucks.
Well, that's kind of the idea, Motion.
I know, maybe riding a tow was a bad idea.
Gee, you think?
Okay, I have an idea. If we follow the same trucks to the same hill...
So go back the way we came. Oh, brilliant strategy. Thanks, Ben.
Well, it's worth a shot.
Huh? You know, it's actually not that bad. I mean, we need to brake van anyway. I mean, it's not like they're gonna give rid out the show entirely, and the derelict of our artistic mind are gonna get pushed out of the window. Right? What am I doing?
I'll look on the bright side, Toad. At least things can't get any worse. Oh my gosh! A signal gate!
Toad couldn't stop. There ahead was Gordon. The signalman changed the points just in time.
Motion, no matter what I've said, I've always kinda liked you.
Even I used your trumpet to clean up my toilet.
What?
On, faster, cried the trucks.
Shut up!
Yikes!
Help! Save us!
We're out of control.
A quick-thinking shunter did just in time.
You think James recognized us?
Of course, we're his friends.
What was that? Exclaimed James. The signalman warned the station master at the next station. There's a runaway coming. We'll send him into the sidings.
Help! Help! Those buffers will stop us.
But the points to the buffers weren't set.
We're back on the main line.
Oh, come on!
I hope those three are okay.
Me too, Ben. Me too.
I must catch Toad, I must.
Well, let's put that on the list of things Henry will be afraid of saying again.
More danger lay ahead. Men were working on a bridge, but they had been warned about the runaway Toad and his trucks.
Well, even, I think it's about time we get off.
I'm coming with ya.
They diverted him onto old sidings, straight into a muddy pool.
Toad, are you okay?
Stopped at last.
Well, that's an hour of my life I'm never getting back.
But at least we survived.
Well, that's an unfortunate coincidence.
It does make a lot of sense, though.
A pond's the only place for a toad, I suppose.
Well said, Oliver, well said.
Embarrassed us? You made one of the greatest adventures in our lives, Toad.
Yeah, you gave us what every TV show needed, a comedic chase scene.
And we would never be embarrassed by that.
It was actually pretty exciting.
What did you think of going forwards? It was fun, but from now on I'll be happy to look forward to the future. Busy going backwards, so to speak.
Yeah, Oliver, you're always very happy when you're working with me and Toad. You must have a problem or something.
All I do is shunt these trucks onto the turntable. I long for a nice run. It's what an engine really needs.
You do have a point there, Oliver. Engines do need nice runs. But I don't recommend you going down Gordon's Hill. We already had 2 accidents that way. But anyway, what do you suggest, Toad? There, you see, Oliver? Friends can help you sort out anything.
Oliver just grew unhappier. And he was rough with the trucks. You're no good, Oliver. You're dangerous. We want Percy. Pa, Percy's far too busy to be bothered with the likes of you. And he bumped the trucks hard.
Oliver!
You silly engine, shouted a workman. It'll take a long time to repair this turntable, which'll cause confusion and delay. That night, the Fat Controller came to see Oliver in his shed. Oliver, you have caused confusion. I thought you could control trucks. You shall work the mail train for a while. Maybe the night air will clear your smoke box. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, said Oliver sadly.
Cheer up, Oliver. It was only an accident. I'll come with you since I've been doing this with Percy for nearly 3 years now. Besides, the mail train is a grand run for a smart engine like you.
Oliver smiled, but he still felt he'd let everyone down. The sea was calm and the fresh air couldn't help but brighten Oliver's spirits.
Ah, this is a lovely night, Oliver. Hey look, there's the real Bolearis.
Hi there. Things are kind of beautiful up north, huh?
They made good speed until it was time to collect some important mail from Harold the helicopter. Come on, Harold.
3 weeks later. Many months later. So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
They waited and waited. At last, Harold landed.
Jeez, Harold, I've seen rubber much quicker than you.
Had a bit of a problem with one of my arms. Kept letting me down when I was meant to be up. You know how it is, said Harold.
Note to self, remind writers not to put in up and down jokes. But nevertheless, we know we'll be late for our first run, Harold.
Soon they were on their way again. Ahead was a red signal light.
Let's just hope it's not a backing signal, Oliver. In fact, what do you think it would say to me and Percy if we ever saw one of those?
Remember, guys, whenever you see a signal move up instead of down, run down the tracks real fast like a retard until you crash into something!
Gee, Edward wasn't himself that day.
Oliver whistled several times, but the signal stayed red.
Looks like Mr. Sigmaman can't get Mr. Signal to go down for me and Mr. Oliver. I've been spending too much time with Toad. But nevertheless, there must be something wrong with that signal, Oliver. We'll go slowly and stop by the signal box.
But they never reached it. The points before the signal box were switched to an old track. They were going the wrong way. Oliver's fireman was concerned. We need to find a water tower soon. Instead, they saw an old rundown station. Disaster lay ahead.
Wow! Well, another location that was dangerously built at the end of a line. We can put that next to the barber shop from A Close Shave and the station master's house when Thomas comes to breakfast.
Meanwhile, the Fat Controller was very worried. Oliver has not returned. We had better send out a search party.
Soon he was high in the sky with Harold. There they are.
Yes, Harold, we found everything except your nose, but we're sure it'll show up in another rocket model. Please don't be angry at Oliver, sir. It wasn't his fault.
I'm aware of that. Then he saw something. It was an empty old house beside the station. He went to inspect it.
Huh, how come we never noticed that when we were crashing into the shed?
We'll make this house as good as new and visitors can come and have tea and crumpets there.
First Oliver, then Bertram, and now this place. What other things am I going to discover next?
Sighed Oliver happily. Getting lost can be interesting, but being found is much nicer. Especially when it makes an engine feel really useful. Everyone's so much happier when springtime comes, said Thomas happily.
Yeah, who doesn't love the spring?
I love the spring, Ben.
Everyone loves the spring, Sam.
Everyone except the fat controller, grumbled James. He seems to be working us harder than ever. I'm tired of these coastal runs.
But I thought you said more coastal runs make your paint look more splendid, James.
He just wants everything to be ready for the holidays, replied Percy. Anyway, salty air makes me all cheerful in my smoke box.
Percy does have a point, James. Doing work in the yard makes you all fired up when you're keeping busy.
Ha! Snorted James. It's the countryside that really gets me fired up. It's the only place to be. And he puffed away to collect his fuel trucks from the docks.
Does anyone smell any unsubtle foreshadowing? We're back at the scrapyards again?
Should we put a counter? Yeah, apparently the show needs it.
As they were shunting their trucks into a siding, they saw an old coach. She looked very sad.
Hey, little coach, you don't look happy.
What are you doing here?
And even though this is supposed to be like question number 5 we're supposed to ask you, what's your name?
They called me old slow coach and told me I wasn't useful anymore. Now only the mice ride in me.
Well, on the plus side, at least you gave inspiration for Disney to do another live-action remake on an animated film.
Well, you may be dusty, but you look in perfect shape. The yard manager appeared. Come along, I have trucks for you to take away.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell us about this coach that we've just seen a few seconds ago?
Old slow coach, she's been here for years. She'll be broken up when we find her time, he replied.
It's a sad thing that a town loses its major coach franchise, isn't it?
But they could rise back up if they had a pop star sing about them. Oh, if only Osmond were only here. Train form! So cold, you should be out on the rails by now. Hey, you're so cold, you shouldn't be sitting around here doing nothing. I know what the engines are doing today, only better I know that, but you don't. Cause without you around, it's only up to us to be really useful in anything we got to see Sunday. Once upon a day, you were out of the radio when I've been really useful. Once upon an hour, everything you thought was so important was taken away from you. Once upon a day, once upon an hour, once upon a week, once upon a day. Hey, yo, so close, you can't let your attitude improve. Hey, yo, so cold, you gotta do something instead of doing nothing. You're not getting us to work with our best friends Thomas and Percy, or getting us to work for a boss at top of hand. You wonder where we have been all day. Please don't make me do this all on my own. Once upon a day, you were out of the rayon. I've been really useful. Once upon an hour, everything you thought was so important was taken away from you. Once upon a day, once upon an hour, once upon a week, once upon a day, once upon an hour, once upon a week, once upon an hour, everything you thought was so important was taken away from you. Once upon a day, once upon an hour, once upon a week, once upon a summer, once upon a day, an hour, a week, a summer, upon a day, once upon an hour, once upon a week, once upon an hour, once upon a week, once upon a day. How long is she gonna be staying there, man?
Sam? What does Emily Osme have to do with this?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to pay tribute to her work as a singer.
Okay, but nevertheless, having old Slowcoach be scrapped is still a shame.
We'll try and help you, said Thomas, but he didn't know how. Meanwhile, James was enjoying himself. This is the life, he chortled. But he was heading for trouble. One of the fuel trucks was leaking. And suddenly it caught fire. Help! cried James. They reached the siding and his driver gave the alarm. It's fuel and it's dangerous. Sparks from James's funnel have set the fuel trucks ablaze, he called. The firemen have got things under control, but it's quite a mess.
Well, James, you did say that the countryside got you all fired up, but neither of us thought you meant it this way. But how could we not, what with all the lesson and subtle foreshadowing from earlier?
Ha! snorted James. It was the stupid truck's fault, not mine. It's safe to proceed now, called the fireman.
You know, you're a fireman, and so are those blue uniform people. I'm sure that won't be confusing at all.
It wasn't long before they reached the station.
So, Ben, I bet you're wondering why I keep on changing locations.
Oh, why yes, Sam, I sure do.
Well, you see...
Buy the Ultimate Countdown DVD! Buy the Ultimate Countdown DVD!
I'm sure it's happened to you at some point, Ben.
Yeah, I guess.
Later, as they were having a long drink at the water towers, they suddenly heard a commotion. "What's the matter?" Thomas asked.
Wow, guys. I never thought I would have to repeat this again, but... Fire!
And look, it's at the workman's hut this time. We better see what we can do.
The fire engines arrived, but they had a big problem. "We are completely out of water," cried a fireman. "We can't use seawater because it clogs our works."
Well, then I don't recommend you using water from the bridge. You don't want to end up like me and Thomas back in episode 15.
And the only thing I can think of is a different kind of waves.
"We'll just have to let that building burn." Then Thomas had an idea. "Why don't you use the water in our tanks? We've just refilled them." The fireman wasted no time.
You and Percy amaze us, Thomas.
Whether it was intentional or not.
Soon the fire was out, but the hut where the workmen lived was destroyed. "We'll need to find something to house the men. They can't sleep on the beach," said the foreman.
Well, they could sleep with either me or Ben, but it would take at least 5 trips.
And we would need several beds.
"What about old Slowcoach? She would be perfect for the workmen." "Comfy too," added Thomas.
Well, I guess that would make her appearance make sense.
Yeah, what a great idea, Percy.
They phoned the Fat Controller, who agreed. "She'll be spick and span by the time you collect her." And she was, and very happy too.
I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of you, old Slowcoach.
But probably in the background most of the time.
"I can't thank you enough," she said. "I feel splendid." The engines buffered up to her, and she set off happily for her new home. Everyone agreed there was nothing old or slow about Coach, and she will always be really useful indeed.
The engines on the island of Sodor love holiday time. Terence the tractor was working in a field close to the line.
Wow, we haven't seen Terence since episode 11.
Nice day for what?
For spring? Because it is quite nice, I have to agree.
Mrs. Kindly's daughter is getting married today.
Percy, remember that nice lady we rescued from the snow 2 years ago? She has a daughter.
Oh yes, of course, said Percy.
Now you got it. What's the matter, Mrs. Kindly?
I've forgotten about the good luck package for the bride.
You forgot about... That's terrible!
Percy was puzzled.
Oh, it's very important, Percy. No wedding should be without one. It must contain something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. All 4 of these things exactly. We'll certainly try, ma'am. Oh, hi, Edward. Percy and I have a special job to do.
We've got to find a good luck package. Do you know what it is? Asked Percy. Oh, yes, indeed. Something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue, Percy cut him.
Do you have any idea where we can find those things for the wedding, Edward?
Edward smiled. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to fetch my special train. I'm taking guests to the wedding.
Big as Edward would be on the ball for this task first. Okay, Percy, here's the checklist. Now the first thing we have to do is find something new.
It was loaded with a new set of shiny buffers.
You're quite right, Percy. Those buffers are just the tickets. I'll speak to the foreman.
He returned shortly.
Good news, Percy. Foreman said we could borrow the buffers and the truck as well. So that's two things we found. Something borrowed and something new.
But what about the other things?
Oh, I'm sure we'll find them too, Percy. Now we best be on our way.
Soon they reached Tidmouth Halt.
Oh, it's you! How are things, old slow coach?
You're it, squeaked Percy.
Percy, don't be rude! Oh, he's thinking you could be the something old for the wedding. You see, we're looking for a good luck package and we have to find something old, something new, something borrowed and something blue. We've already got new and borrowed, and now it appears we found something old if you want to be that. Gee, I don't know. Oh, hang on, guys. Hello? Ben! Oh, it's about time you started this episode. What? You found something blue for us? Really? Great! We'll be right there. Guys, Ben has found us something blue. Oh, you'll see, guys. Just come with me.
At last they reached the village where the wedding was to take place. Ahead was an old engine shed.
Well, it's about time that you and Percy got here, Sam.
Thanks, Ben. Well, Percy, what do you think of this?
Well, bust my boiler. Thomas, what are you doing here? I'm the something blue, replied Thomas.
Oh, great thinking, Ben.
Thanks, Sam. But that's not all. Oh, no. You, Percy, and I will be their special guests.
Really? Oh, joy!
When the bride and groom left the church for the party, the Fat Controller addressed everybody.
Oh, here it comes!
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the good luck package?
Certainly, sir. For something old, we've got Old Slow Coach. For something new, we've got these bright red buffers, though why were they needed remains a mystery, but that's beside the point. For something borrowed, we've got this truck supporting the buffers, and finally, something blue is none other than Thomas the Tank Engine for himself. I managed to find Thomas for this wedding, but the rest were all found by our good friends Sam and Percy.
The engines whistled and everyone cheered.
Well, Ben, now that everything for the wedding is found, straight forward! Let's get this party started!
Love is in blue, a beautiful bride, a handsome groom, two hearts becoming one, a bond that cannot be undone, because love is in blue, a beautiful bride, a handsome groom. I said love is in blue, you're starting a life and making room for us. our special day. We celebrate now the engine way. Your friends are all right here. Won't let these moments disappear, because love is in the bloom. A beautiful bride, a handsome groom. I said love is in bloom. You're starting a life and making room for us, for us, for us.
Best wedding ever!
It's the best good luck package ever. And she kissed Percy. I love weddings, whispered Percy that night. Did you like your kiss? Replied Thomas. But Percy was embarrassed and pretended to be asleep.
Thomas the Tank Engine has worked his branch line for many years and knows it very well.
Well, you know just where to stop, Thomas. In fact, you're actually so good at this, you could almost manage the whole thing without me and Sam.
Thomas had become conceited. Later, he boasted to the others. Don't be so daft, snorted Percy. Said Toby earnestly. I'd be frightened. Huh, boasted Thomas. I'm not scared. You'd never dare. I would then. You'll see. Thomas drowsed comfortably as the warmth spread through his boiler.
Well, that takes care of Thomas's fire.
Yep. Looks pretty good so far. Say, do you think Thomas would at least try to operate by itself without me or you controlling him?
I don't know, but maybe it could be a possibility. Who would ever try to at least operate a train without a driver or fireman?
Note to viewers, the preceding statement is absolutely weird. They didn't give us time to explain that to us, nor did the people who made Thomas and the Magic Railroad took the time to explain that either. And now back to our story. Yeah, you do have a point there, Sam. Say, I haven't had breakfast just yet, so what do you say we stop on by the new Dunkin' Donuts place that just opened up?
Oh yeah, I'm in. I could use a nice donut before we go to work.
Percy and Toby were still asleep. Thomas suddenly remembered. Silly stick in the muds, he chuckled. I'll show them. I'll just go out. Then I'll stop and wheesh! That'll make them jump. He soon found his mistake. He tried to wheesh, but he couldn't. He tried to stop, but he couldn't. He just kept rolling along. He didn't dare look at what was coming next. There was the station master's house. The station master was about to have breakfast. Horrors! Cried Thomas, and shut his eyes. The house rocked. Broken glass tinkled. Plaster was everywhere. Thomas had collected a bush on his travels. He peered into the room through its leaves. He couldn't speak. The station master was furious. His wife picked up her plate. "You miserable engine," she scolded. "Just look what you've done to our breakfast. Now I shall have to cook some more." She banged the door. More plaster fell. This time it fell on Thomas. Thomas felt depressed.
Oh my gosh, is that Thomas?
Yeah, it is. What is he doing at the station master's house?
Wait, remember when we said it's impossible for an engine to go without a driver or fireman?
Yeah, so?
Well, looks like Thomas tried to do that.
Oh man, when I told him that, I mean it as a figure of speech. Now quick, go and call for help while I stay here with Thomas.
Got it, Ben.
Workmen propped up the house with strong poles and laid rails through the garden.
Good work, Sam. I knew you would get help.
It's what I do, Ben.
Good. So, Donald and Douglas, do you think you could get Thomas out of the station master's house and back onto the rails? Good. Let's get started.
Okay, on my command, 1, 2, 3, heave!
Donald and Douglas, puffing hard, managed to haul Thomas back to safety. Bits of fencing, the bush, and a broken window frame festooned his front, which was badly twisted.
Good work, Donald and Douglas. Thanks for your help.
Thomas was in disgrace.
Well, I wonder what the Fat Controller's gonna say when we explain this to him.
You are a very naughty engine. I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Thomas's voice was muffled behind his bush.
Yes, sir, I can. Turns out just yesterday, I told Thomas that he can manage without me or Sam working with him at all. But when I said that, I didn't mean it literally. I mean it as a figure of speech.
You must go to the works and have your front mended. It will be a long job. Yes, sir.
But wait, sir, if Thomas is gone for that, who's gonna replace him while he's away? A diesel?
A diesel, sir? Thomas spluttered.
Sir? Do you really think a diesel is gonna do Thomas's work while he is away?
Diesels always stay in their sheds till they are wanted. Thomas's recent accident had caused a great deal of trouble, and the Fat Controller was waiting for them with important news.
So, is that supposed to be the diesel rail car you mentioned earlier?
Here, he said, is Daisy, the diesel rail car, who has come to help while Thomas is, indisposed.
Looks nice to me so far.
It almost looks like the one you might love, Ben.
I told you, Sam, I have a girlfriend.
Please, sir, asked Percy. Will she go, sir, when Thomas comes back, sir? That depends, said the Fat Controller. Meanwhile, however long she stays... Yes, sir, we'll try, sir, said the engines.
You can count on us, sir.
Especially my kiwis.
Good. Run along now and show her the shed. She will want to rest after her journey. Daisy was hard to please. She shuddered at the engine shed. This is dreadfully smelly.
Well, that's our natural scent. What's wrong with that?
I'm highly sprung, and anything smelly is bad for my swerves.
Well, then you probably wouldn't like sleeping in Tidmouth sheds. Which reminds me of one time, I bought in a whole bag of special coal for Henry, until I accidentally realized I accidentally let in a snapping turtle. Which reminds me, how do we get snapping turtles on the island in the first place, Ben?
I don't know, Sam, but to me, when I was out in the central New York area, it is very common to find one single snapping turtle out there. In fact, note to self, make a horror movie about a snapping turtle. But nevertheless, we'll keep looking, Daisy.
Next, they tried the carriage shed.
Well, Daisy, what do you think?
This is better, said Daisy. But whatever is that rubbish? The rubbish turned out to be Annie, Clarabelle, and Henrietta, who were most offended.
Ooh! Harsh. And I thought the censored 11 cartoons by Warner Brothers are the most offensive.
We won't stay here to be insulted, they fumed.
Jeez, and I thought the people in the Thomas community were the most insulted.
Oh, trust me, Sam, the Thomas community is not the most insulted. The Halo fans are the most insulted.
Note, this is not really something serious, it is just a joke. I know that there are some people out there who likes Halo, and we truly understand that. You will not be seeing this joke ever again.
But, nevertheless, if it would make you happy, Daisy, Percy, Toby, Sam, and I will move them to another shed for you.
And spend half the night soothing their hurt feelings. The engines woke next morning feeling exhausted. Daisy, on the other hand, felt bright and cheerful. Ooh! Ooh! She tooted as she came out of the yard and back to the station.
Do you think we should tell her about it?
Yeah, but we shall see if Daisy will be up for this.
Look at me, she purred to the passengers. I'm the latest diesel, highly sprung and right up to date. You won't want Thomas's bumpy old Annie and Clarabelle now. The passengers waited for Daisy to start, but she didn't. She saw that a milk van was about to be coupled to her and was most indignant. Do they expect me to pull that?
Well, yeah. Thomas pulls other trains instead of pulling passengers.
And, seeing of how you can pull passengers, surely you can at least pull one van.
I won't, said Daisy. Percy can do it. He loves messing about with trucks. She began to shudder violently.
Oh, jeez, not again. No, wait, Daisy, stop. I'll buy you a pony if you stop biting the mailman.
How stupid are you, Ben?
Well, comparing to my next-door neighbor back at Knotford, that's saying a lot.
Daisy lurched backwards. She was so cross that she blew a fuse. Told you, she said, and stopped. Everyone argued with her, but it was no use.
Okay, let's try this again. Why can't you just pull that one van behind you? What is?
My fitter's a very nice man. He comes every week and examines me carefully. Daisy, he says, never, never pull. You're highly sprung and pulling is bad for your swerves. So that's how it is, finished Daisy.
Well then, by the power of my every will, I hereby found this statement as bull crap!
And I still don't understand why the Fat Controller would replace Thomas with such a feeble...
Feeble? Spluttered Daisy. Let me! Stop arguing, grumbled the passengers. We're late already.
Alright guys, we'll get you there in no time. Sam, you and Daisy better take the passengers for now while I get in touch with Toby to see if he can get the milk van. Turns out I'm gonna be working with him and Percy for a little while until Thomas comes back.
Very well, Ben, if you say so.
She could now enjoy her journey. That's a good story, she chuckled. I'll do just what work I choose and no more. But she said it to herself.